Daylight, my MVVs, welcome. Now, it is said that what destroys us most effectively is not a malign fate, but our own capacity for self-deception and for degrading our own best self. Now, we have gotten a report that Ooni of Ife's palace experienced the biggest fight ever as Igbi allegedly rains insult on Ooni's sister over broken promises. As you know, Queen Naomi got royal Manor and Olori and Toby got back into the palace of the Ooni of Ife. Now, it's no longer news that Toby is back in the palace of the Ooni of Ife. Ooni has, officially welcomed his children back into the palace. And for those who came and they were saying it's not true, I hope that you got the information right now. I told you earlier that this is going to happen, whether we like it or not, because of course, at the end of the day, the decision comes from the Ooni of Ife himself. Now, as we are hearing, they say that Igbi and the sisters of the Ooni of Ife had a very serious altercation after the dance and everything over, because they said she was passing some remarks that was not good after everything was done and dusted. And unfortunately, the sisters were there. And even though those remarks were not passed directly before the sisters, but there were some people who heard some of the words that she said, and they reverted back to the sisters of the Ooni of Ife. And if you know women, they will not let things like that slide. They had to come back to get clarification from her on why she was saying those things that she was saying. And they said it resulted to a very, very serious altercation. Now, if this information is true, we are hearing that the altercation came as a result of the royal manor that was allowed to be given to Olori Naomi. And again, that Toby was allowed back into the palace of the Ooni of Ife. Apparently, Igbi has been working hand in hand with the sisters to ensure that something or stuff does not go as planned. But it looks like she felt really, really disappointed, because at the end of the day, all their plot never came to actualization. Most importantly, the one that is paining them the most is the fact that Olori Naomi got the royal manor. That was not their bargain from the very beginning. They were going to try and hold up for her to stay outside or as long as possible for everything to work out for them, because they're still very, very optimistic that Naomi will not return back into the palace. Now, Naomi got into the palace 4 days or 5 days later. Toby was allowed to come back into the palace. And they said that the reason why Toby was allowed to really come back into the palace was because Ooni of Ife spoke to Naomi and begged Naomi to, show some understanding over the pressure that he has been going through. And Olori Naomi had no choice but to say, okay, because of course, Olori Naomi wants to be on the side of her husband, and whatever it is, the deed has been done, and the best place for Olori Naomi to be is to be in the right side of the Ooni of Ife, just as Dr. Elizabeth has been. Now, the event, we all saw, if for those of you who saw the video, you saw that Dr. Elizabeth was there, even though, of course, she's very distant from others. You can see from her body language and all, they even came out together. Dr. Elizabeth and Igbi, they came out together to take a photo with Oletik. And that photo, at the end of the day, even caused problem, because at the end of the day, Igbi went back and was saying that while they came out to take photo with Oletik was busy doing selfie and cleaning phone and focusing on her phone as if nobody came. But for Igbi, people see that Igbi has a problem. Like everything, there is always a problem. Dr. Elizabeth finished taking her photo and left. You could see that Igbi tried to hold Dr. Elizabeth's hand, but before long, she left Igbi and went her own way. For those who watched the video, I do think that maybe you saw all of this, but at the end of the day, they say after all that drama that happened there was a very serious altercation. That people had gone to tell the sisters of the Ooni of Ife things that Igbi had said, some of the remarks that she passed, and these women did not take it funny with Olori Igbi, and they now came after Igbi. And if you know, they are usually they are three, and they are always in agreement. The sisters to the Ooni of Ife, they love each other so much. They have a very close knitted bond, and so they're always in agreement. So when three of them are lashing out on you, you know what that means. They say it was a very serious bad, but of course they do know that Igbi herself is a very strong woman. She is ready. No matter how you come for her, she is ready for you. This is what is going on right now in the palace. Now, from the outside, everything seems to be very, very okay. They live in harmony. Everything is fine. But from the inside, they say the result is completely different, because there is this disaffection, and there is lack of trust, gross lack of trust, and a whole lot that goes on right there in the palace of the Ooni of Ife. They said Igbi had said that the sisters to the Ooni of Ife are big hypocrites, and that they will stand here today and tomorrow they will stand there. You do know that Igbi has got a lot of money to play around with. From when she first came into the palace, she had a lot of money. Right now, she doesn't even have as much, because she has spent her entire money trying to buy everybody. But then again, right now she's beginning to see that these people whom I thought earlier that were on my side may not necessarily be on my side. Said she called them so many unprintable names that they go for where the money flows and all of that. All of a sudden, they are now worshiping Olori Naomi, because they know that Naomi is the one who is dishing out all the big decisions. Like Ooni of Ife owns some real estate companies, and very mega one, because his major business is real estate. Even though right now he has become a serial entrepreneur. He is into hospitality. He is into, medicals. He is into, groceries like departmental stores and real estate. But real estate is the one that has given him a whole lot of money. And as we are hearing, if the information is true, they say one of those major real estate company was enlisted for Queen Naomi. And so Queen Naomi is a major manager or director of one of his real estate company. I forgot to add that he's into oil and gas as well. Now, we heard what is going on is that before now, the sisters to the Ooni of Ife used to be the ones who were in charge of gravel, sand, and all of that, the supplies to the real estate company, because they buy, very huge land and they begin to build, and they build and they sell. So for the longest of time, Ooni was the one handling the real estate company, but soon after, he now made Naomi to be the handler of the real estate company. The documents and everything is being signed by Olori Naomi, and these women are very much aware that if they are on the bad book of Olori Naomi might take that sand, gravel, contract that is for them and give to another person. So they are kind of obligated to be on Olori Naomi's side, and that is the one thing that is itching Igbi so much. Igbi is so unhappy about it. Like, they are playing, double game. You would think they are with you, but they are not with you. They know exactly where they stand, and they say this thing has really pissed Igbi up so much, and that was what brought that altercation, and that she passed a lot of terrible remarks and said a whole lot of things about those women, and the women could not take it again. They were quarreling. This one say you are a backstabber. This one say you are a nobody. Who the hell do you think you are? Where did you come from? If not for me, my brother wouldn't have picked you, and blah, blah, blah. And this is where the Bible says that your enemies will go and begin to fight themselves for your sake, because all of this is happening because of Olori Naomi. From the very beginning, they gang up about against Olori Naomi, but nobody knew that God is going to bring Olori Naomi this far, and nobody knew that Olori Naomi will be at the hem of Ifes. And right now, see what is going on. And that is why it is said that you should never underestimate yourself, and you should never dwell on self-deceit, because at the end of the day, if you think that you have everything under control, God is going to show you that he is the ultimate at the end of the day. Do not forget, these are all alleged, rumored, and speculated information making the rounds on social media. I'm going to bring you more update. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.